Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a part two of the previous video that I uploaded. And in the last video, I talked about documents that you need to bring. And in the list of documents that I mentioned, I happened to mention medical stuff, and I am just here to talk about that. So once you have everything submitted and it's almost time for your interview, you get a letter telling you that it's time to book your appointment to see a doctor. Well, here's a kicker. You don't just go to any doctor. They have specific doctors that you see for when it comes to the immigration. And so in this case, when it's a green card or you're getting green card through marriage, I don't know any other type of green cards like job and all that. I'm just talking about marriage one. Because you have to get a civil surgeon. So what you need to do is go on your phone, like or phone website, and you look for you find a doctor under the immigration, like somebody you can go see. And for our case, we just got a civil surgeon. They're not so many where we live. I think the one that we got was 1 hour 30 minutes from where we live. So it was quite a distance for us, but we did manage to just do it because we didn't have a choice. So with that being said, and what that simply means, it's you can't go to just any doctor. It has to be a civil surgeon who's authorized, or who has a seal and signature that's acceptable to the immigration by the immigration. So for me personally, I got a doctor. Well, I just said 1 hour 30 minutes away from where I live. So we just called, made the appointment. And I would advise anybody, immediately you get that notice, start making the call to book that appointment. Because I remember when I was doing mine, I called almost like everybody around, like who was one hour from where I live. And it was very, very hectic because everybody was either fully booked, they had appointments were so like further out from my appointment date, so that was so stressful. And they needed or required for somebody to have the COVID shot, like you have it on in your system already for 2 weeks before the actual appointment day at the hospital. So for me it was very, very stressful because I had to get that the COVID shot first and then make the appointment with a civil surgeon. And that's what I did. Well, because those are the regulations now. And after that, we got an appointment set for like I think 9 o'clock in the morning. So we had to leave home at 6. So we left here, went there, and we didn't know what to expect. But I had checked and I had a clue of what was gonna happen. And I remember when I was on call, that the person that I talked to told me that before anything, because they have to give you paperwork to take to the immigration, you have to pay 200 cash. So we had to go by the bank, cash out, have cash on hand, $200. I don't know about, like, I don't know if it's a fixed amount, but we paid $200. Just that was just for the paperwork. I think it's from I-693 if I'm not wrong. So and that's what we did. We paid the $100, and that's before you see anybody. Before the doctor or the nurse sees you, you pay the $100. And then we went in. So the nurse and the medical assistant, well, they take the blood pressure, everything, all those kama kawaida, then the measurements and what height, weight. So they took all that, and that was documented. And after that, they tell you that you need immunizations. So what I did, so the day before, I called them and asked them what happens if somebody has some of the immunizations already. So they told me to just gather all the immunizations that I've had and take them with me. And then at that point, they will tell me which ones I needed and which ones I didn't need and which ones I needed a boost of. So, because I was born in Africa, I have had some shots and vaccines. So I called my mom, and I remember when I was talking to my mom, she had two of them, and one was really bad. So she went to look for one at the clinic where she was taking me when I was a baby to get my vaccines to see if she could get another record. Unfortunately, she didn't, so we had to walk around with what we had. Fortunately, the hospital accepted it. The medical assistant could read it. It was all in English, and that's what was important. And so I gave it to her. She, compared it with the list of vaccines that they needed, and I ended up getting like I don't remember. Okay, well, how can I say this? I had already gotten some vaccines, and there's some vaccines that are here and not where I was born, so I had to get those ones. And I remember I had to get MMR, varicella, Tdap. I had that when I was born, and that was it. And it's done after every 10 years, so I got that. And I remember the fourth one. Oh, the flu vaccine. Yes, the flu vaccine. So I think varicella, if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, somebody can comment below and tell me I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think I did. I didn't get the varicella because when I was young, I got chickenpox. Because the nurse told me that if I've had chickenpox before, I was not gonna get the vaccine. So again, I had to call my mom because I didn't know if I have had that or not. I had to call my mom to confirm if I had it, and she was like, "Yeah, you got it." So I didn't end up getting that. I did not get that. So, but some people might get it if they never got that vaccine or they never got the chickenpox. So I ended up getting 3 vaccines. And the other shocking thing is that when you get those vaccines from civil surgeons, your insurance won't cover. 99% of insurances don't cover that. So we had the option of getting a doctor to do those vaccines where we live, and taking that evidence to them so that they could confirm that I really had those vaccines. And when we called the clinics here in the hospitals, there wasn't any hospital that was taking new patients. So we ended up having to pay a lot of money for the vaccines because we got them from at the civil surgeon's office. And so it was vaccines. They have to physical exam too. So they check your lungs, they check your heart. If everything is good, you're good. And then the other thing was blood work. So you get some blood drawn from you, and they check other things, STDs, and on top of that, they do check for TB. So personally, because I have the BCG, I got a BCG when I was born, chances of me getting a positive when they check for the blood, the skin test for TB, it can be positive even if I'm not sick. I don't have TB itself because the vaccine is already there. So the doctor told me that there's a new way that they're testing for them, so that in that test they can tell apart if you really have it, or you really have it's positive because you really have it, or is it positive because you have the vaccine. It can tell that apart. And I remember a few years back when I was working as a CNA, I did get a skin test. It was negative, but even if it came if the skin test comes back positive, you get a chest x-ray, and yeah, that confirms maybe negative or positive. Either way, you just get your results. Also, for this blood test that was drawn, it took 1 week. So we had to to take 2 trips to the doctor's office. We went for the first time and they took the blood, they got the vaccines, and that was it. And then the second time was getting results and filling out the paperwork that I needed sealed to take to the immigration. I hope I'm not losing anybody. So that's what we did. And fortunately, my TB blood test came back negative. Well, if it came positive, it's not a bad thing. I'll just have gotten a neck chest X-ray, which means more money. So I'm glad it came back negative. And the other things they check is the STDs, gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, all those. And yeah, that's about it. And then they seal everything. I don't think I have mine right here with me, but they seal everything, date, stamp from the doctor, and that's about it. And then that is what you take to the immigration. They're the ones who open. If it is compromised in any way, open or anything like that, yeah, that becomes a very big problem, and they won't accept it. So when you have it sealed, when you get it from your doctor, don't let your curiosity make you feel so anxious that you want to open it. And also, like, before I left the doctor's office, I happened to ask the medical assistant what happens if those STDs come back positive, like what would happen. And she told me, worst case scenario, it comes back positive, you just call the immigration, postpone the interview, and just get some antibiotics, get well, reschedule the appointment, and everything goes back, on track. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, and also they check drugs. So yeah, they take your blood, they check the drug, they do drug tests to make sure that you're sober. Yeah, I think that's about it. So this brings us to the end of this video. If you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you're planning for your interview, all the best, all the best, all the best, and good luck. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe in this channel and our family channel, and bye.